say, but wait, there's more.
Okay,
Yes, I do have one. Hi, I'm Davey. Uh, no, I do have a story, and just for reference, before this, when Doug was, messaged me to ask about coming on and doing a thing, he said what you said to me was, it can be real or it can be made up. And I think the reason why you said that is may have been in reference to the Shit King story that I told the last time that I was actually on your stream when we played Stanley Parable together. Which, if I'm being honest, there may have been certain elements of that story
the whole thing is
that were slightly exaggerated for narrative purposes. So anyway, the point is, like, I swear to God, for this stream, because this is like a big deal with the donation goal you hit. I swear to God, I sat and I tried to write a story, a made up story for this, and I couldn't come up with something that I liked as much as I liked the Shit King story. And so
perfect child, can't do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't want to force it. So I said, okay, a true story then.
Thank you.
And I really, this is actually one of my favorite memories of Doug. So I think it works. Honestly, I don't even know if it's like embarrassing, but I like it, so I'll tell it. So when we were kids, we used to go to a summer camp called Copper Creek, and we went. I think I went from, I don't know, was like 12 through 15 or something like that. So anyway,
this is true. Yep.
So Copper Creek, I really liked Copper Creek. It was like a very sort of traditional camp, in the sense of, like, they would do, you would stay overnight in a cabin for like 2 weeks, and you would, they had all sorts of stuff. They had like archery, and there actually was a lake you could go water skiing, and arts, and there were games and all sorts of stuff. And so every year, when you would go for the 2 weeks, they would do a talent show. And
this is true. Yep.
So what happened was, we went to this talent. So they did this talent show, and I must have been 13 this year, which meant Doug would have been 11. And so we do the talent show. We go to the talent show, and it's like the usual stuff where people do, like, they sing a song or they do a skit or something. A friend and I did like a dance to a song. I actually don't remember now what it was. And then Doug had a slot. And then, so for Doug's slot in the talent show, he gets up and he delivers. It was like a 10 or 15 minute long presentation about why it is so beautiful when a human and a sheep are kissing. and now you gotta, like, remember, this is a talent show. Wait. Right, this isn't like this isn't like an open forum for conversation.
Up until then,
so he starts delivering this presentation, and it goes on and on. It was like very detailed. There were like a lot of, he had some like pictures that he had drawn that he held up and showed. And he's going on, and it's like 10, 15 minutes into this thing, and like the counselors are like telling him, like, Doug, you have to, like he had a lot more. Like, I don't know how long the presentation was meant to be, but they made him stop. Remember, there's like other kids that are trying to get up and like do their talents, and do their things, and like literally, like, throughout the rest of the talent show, he would get up every now and then and like, try to continue his presentation.
They're calling me a sheep king, and
they wouldn't, and they were trying to. They were like, it was like such a thing to like explain to him that it wasn't like the appropriate venue for it, right? I mean, I thought I liked it. I was having a great time.
Thanks, Davey.
So what happens is, we get back from camp that year, and then, like, obviously the counselors talk to our parents about it. And it was kind of like a whole thing. And so what happens afterward is we're like you know, like the adults and, you know, people sit down with Doug and they're like, and, you know, we asked, we would be like, do you know, it sounds like you want to kiss a sheep. And he was like, no, that's not. He was like, it's just a presentation about how beautiful it is. Like, and he was very insistent, just like he's doing right now. Like this, like that's a perfect example. And he was very, very insistent. But so it was like, okay, all right, whatever, it's over. But like, what would happen would be like throughout like the year, and then in the years ongoing, he would always be asking like, hey, can we go to like a petting zoo? You know what I mean? And I think mom and dad kind of to your credit, like sort of like having a sort of an intuitive sense of maybe what was going on here. You were like, no, we're not going to go to the petting zoo.
We're going to go to Texas instead.
Do you want to? He was like, do you want to go to a zoo, like a normal zoo where there's like walls between you and the animals? And I was like, no. I don't. He's like, not about that. And I think it was like years of this. It was like years of putting up with this. And like you take like, or like, okay, fine, Doug, we'll go to the petting zoo. And he goes to the sheep, and it was like a little uncomfortable. He was like really kind of, I don't know, like handsy with the sheep. It was they asked us to leave, and it was like kind of a weird thing. And I didn't like. There were, I don't know. I remember like it was like periodic stuff every now and then over time where it would be like, oh, Doug like puts together like a sheep costume for Halloween, and you know, and then it's like, can we not? It was and that was actually one of the weird things that I didn't fully understand, was like kind of this line between like, does Doug want to be the one kissing the sheep, or does he want to be the sheep kissing the human, right? Because there's always a sheep and a human, and that was kind of but it was like this sort of fine line, you know, like where, like in his identity, like where he stood on that. And this is okay. This is a thing I heard about, but I genuinely didn't know if this was true.
Oh yeah, so this college, one is secondhand.
That in college that Doug got his dorm, his frat house that he was in, he got them to go on a trip to a farm. And I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I never like followed up. I figured like, you know, I'll kind of let him, you know.
Well, this is Dan. I got to say, this is when Doug was showing a lot of interest in sorghum farming.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The farming.
Hey, Dad, there's sheep Doug's on the sorghum farm, right?
Suddenly Doug's interest in the stake that he has inherited in a farm became a lot more relevant and interesting.
Yep.
You know, I did. Actually, anyway, this morning at the farmer's market, I sent Dougie a picture of a pig at the farmer's market.
You did.
And he said, cool, that's so cool, but were there any sheep there, too?
Yeah.
I didn't. I said,
where are the sheep?
That's so fucking cute. Like, it's adorable.
Something I just want to be clear about right now, because I think
that's not what you wrote.
Shut up.
Something I think it's possible that there's like maybe misconceptions about, or people might get the wrong idea. And I just, because I really believe this, and I want to be clear. I absolutely do not think that in any way Doug wants to fuck a sheep. Okay? Like, well, I just think it needs. I just feel like people might get the wrong idea. What Doug wanted, as far as I could tell, like inferring from it, was just to kiss, right? Was the more, you know, the more sensual, direct connection. That I think there's a lot of people who are going to try and make this like sexual.
Yeah, they're going to try to make it weird. Yeah,
right. They're right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are going to make it weird, and they're not going to respect what you were trying to say. They're not going to actually listen to the content of the message that you had. And I just want to kind of get ahead of the curve on that, because
thanks, Davey.
You know, I think that it's easy for this to kind of, you know, snowball into something it's not.
No one should be sheepish about this, really.
I think it's beautiful, honestly. It was a great presentation. It was it was compelling, you know, and he made a lot of genuinely really great points. There was a lot of specific examples. There was a lot of like, you know, shorn versus unshorn, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, don't pull the wool over my eyes. In retrospect, make a lot more sense.
I'll be honest. Like, I think look, this is on you, Doug, because I would never, put any of this on you. But if you gave this presentation again, like someday, that's just like an option that's out there on the table.
You mean to give the presentation?
Again, yes. To a redo of it. I just because I would feel wrong if I talked too much about it, just because I felt I've always gotten the impression it was very personal.
Yeah, without me getting to really put it in my own words. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I'm sitting here trying to be like, there's a Shorn or unshorn, but like you were the master. Like you had a command of the language.
People are saying for a $600,000 goal.
Why not? Right? $1 million lifetime goal.
I think these family secrets really deserve much bigger donations from your listeners.
Yeah. Mom, you did request, you wanted to be way up there in the donation total. As you knew, it was this deserved a premium price.
I did. Well, I said 500,000 for these family secrets.
You did. And then I already had planned for the New Zealand trip. So unfortunately, I knocked you down a peg. But now Davey can hype up the 1 million goal or whatever with the unveiling of a new story that I've never told before.
Look, this is you. I'm just handing off the baton.
Parkser was on the edge of his seat that whole time, by the way. He was leaning closer and closer to me as you continued.
We can tell.
I didn't know that about him. That's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting is we've used the word interesting a lot over the years.
I'd like to hear what Parkser thinks about these stories.
Parkser, any thoughts?
On the sheep thing?
On any of the stories.
I didn't really hear the previous ones because I was busy eating sushi.
Yeah.
Which is very good, by the way.
Yeah.
The sheep thing, I think any reasonable person would need a little bit of time to process what they heard.
That's true. We're sitting over here. We've had decades to let this marinate. The people at home are just hearing this for the first time.
Well, this is highly informative. I'm going to give to the viewers here, as far as I can tell, technically I don't remember almost anything about Copper Creek. I don't remember first grade at all. I barely remember the basketball thing. But to my knowledge, 2 of the 3 stories are real and 1 is false, and you can try to figure out which one is fake.
To be clear, you've just gone on the record as saying you have a very bad memory for events that took place in your childhood. Okay, I just think that deserves to be sort of, we need to kind of underscore that particular note here.
Yeah. The thing is, you're not wrong. I don't remember my childhood. So, to the best of my knowledge.
And look at the photographic evidence we just presented of something that you had forgotten entirely.
That's true. In theory, we're talking, the sheep story would have been years after this when I would have slightly more memory and presumably would remember doing something that is so aggressively weird, but...
Well, weird to us, but to you it was just normal. I think that's the key distinction. For us, it'll be seared in our memories forever. But to you, it was just a normal fucking Tuesday.
Okay, this was...
Other than that, there's not much going on here at home.
Yeah, okay, other than that, that pretty much covers the childhood.
Yeah, I think that pretty much took care of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Davey, Jay, Mom, and Dad, for coming on and giving... the chat always likes lore. They like lore about the DougDoug cinematic universe. So thank you for...
I hope we gave them some.
Yeah. I will probably spend a substantial amount of effort trying to undo the damage of it.
Hell yeah.
The Shit King story was already pretty hard to stop. To stop the spread.
Don't you let him put this genie back in the bottle, okay?
Delete the VODs. Sorry, Monterey. Something happened. All the money's gone. I'm out of the country. Well, thank you all for joining. I appreciate it very much. And we're gonna keep doing our charity thing.